It was an ordinary Tuesday when the world ended, and Han Do-yoon almost slept through it. He was up on the rooftop of his apartment building with his best friend, Cha Sung-ho. They had been coming to this rooftop since they were boys. 15 years of friendship, the same two friends, the same cheap drinks, the same city shining below them. Do-yoon was the quiet one. He liked to watch, to listen, to think before he spoke. Sung-ho was the loud one. He was always dreaming out loud, always waiting for the day the world would finally notice him. Do you ever feel like we're just extras? Sung-ho said that night, looking out at the city. Like the real story is happening to somebody else, somewhere else, and we're just standing in the background. I like the background, Do-yeon said. It's quiet back here. Sung-ho laughed. That's your whole problem, man. No ambition. And then the sky broke. Not thunder, not lightning. A long black crack split the clouds from one end of the sky to the other, like glass breaking in reverse. The city lights went out, street by street, a wave of darkness rolling toward them. And then a voice spoke. It did not come from the sky, it came from inside their own heads. Cold, flat, not human at all. Greetings, survivors. Your world has been chosen. In 72 hours the old rules end. Those who have power will live. Those who do not will be erased. 2 people have been found here. 2 power cores are available. Choose now, and in the air in front of them, 2 glowing blue panels appeared. Floating, impossible, but real. Part 2, the choice. The first panel glowed bright red and gold. Even the letters looked expensive. It said, Core 1, the Conqueror. A combat power, it gives you strength, speed, and healing far beyond a normal human. You grow stronger every time you kill. Best for those who want to fight and dominate. The second panel was smaller, dimmer, a plain cold gray. It said, Core 2, the Observer. A support power. It gives you no fighting strength at all. Its only gift is this, analysis. You can look at anything, a monster, a person, a danger, and instantly know the truth about it. Its other abilities are locked. Sung-ho's eyes went straight to the red gold one, and Do-yoon saw something in his friend's face he had never seen so clearly before. A hunger. This is it. Sung-ho whispered, This is the day I stop being an extra. He slammed his hand on the Conqueror panel before Do-yoon had even finished reading. Core 1 is now bound to Cha Sung-ho. Red light poured into Sung-ho's chest. He gasped, staggered, and then stood up straight, and his eyes were glowing gold. I can feel it. He breathed. I feel so strong, I could crush a car right now. He grinned at his friend. Take the other one, Do-yoon. Quick, before it disappears. Do-yoon looked at what was left, a power that gave him no strength, a power that only let him know things. The leftover, the junk one, the one you would only choose because there was nothing else. But when the world is about to end in 72 hours, you do not walk away from the only thing you are offered. He pressed his hand to the gray panel. Core 2 is now bound to Han Do-yoon. A cold gray light seeped into him. Quiet, gentle, nothing like the fire his friend got. No strength, no glowing eyes, just a soft whisper at the back of his mind, and then that cold voice said something it said to no one else. Interesting. It has been a very long time since anyone chose me while thinking I was weak. Do-yoon blinked, but the panel was already gone. Sung-ho slapped him on the back, laughing, flexing his glowing hands. Don't worry, buddy. I've got the strength, you've got the information, I guess. Stick with me. I'll protect you. And that night he meant it. There was real kindness in his voice. But the cold gray voice spoke again, only to Do-yoon. He will not protect you. Remember that I told you first. Part 3. 72 hours. A timer appeared in the corner of Do-yoon's vision. 72 hours. Counting down. Most of the city spent those hours crying or praying or refusing to believe it. Do-yoon spent them working. Because here is the thing his friend never understood. Information, in the right hands, is a weapon that never runs out of bullets. He used his power, analysis, on everything. He looked at the black crack in the sky, and the truth appeared in his mind. This is a tear in reality. Monsters will come through tears like this. He looked at the night air growing strangely cold, and it told him, warning, the temperature will become deadly. He looked at his own apartment building and learned it had a strong reinforced basement. He looked at the quiet old man on the 3rd floor, Mr. O, and learned that 40 years ago Mr. O had been an army engineer, a man who knew how to build defenses. So Do-yoon knocked on his door. The world is ending in 3 days, he said calmly. You know how to make a building safe. I know exactly what is coming. I think we should talk. Mr. O looked at the quiet young man on his doorstep. Then he looked past him, at the black crack in the sky, and he stepped aside. Come in. While Sung-ho spent those 3 days punching holes in walls to show off, gathering fans and taking videos of himself, Do-yoon spent them building. He sealed the basement, he stored water and food, he mapped the safe roads, and he gathered people. Not the loudest ones, the calm, steady ones. His power even warned him about the dangerous ones, the people who would panic or turn on the group. Those he quietly kept away. By the end of the 3 days, Sun Ho had big muscles and a crowd of fans. Du Yun had a safe shelter, supplies, and 11 people who trusted him with their lives. Then the timer reached 0, and outside, the screaming began. Part 4. The Rules of the End. The new world had 2 dangers, and both of them killed. In the daytime, the sun turned cruel. People called it the scorch. The heat became so strong that anyone caught outside in the open sun for too long would simply collapse and never get up. So in the day, you stayed in the shade. You stayed still. You survived. At night, it was the opposite. A freezing cold rolled in with the darkness, and with the cold came the monsters. Twisted, fast, hungry creatures that crawled out of the tears in the sky, and the dead rose too, stiff and slow at first, faster with every passing night. Most of the human race died in that first week, not because the monsters could not be beaten, but because people did not know the rules. Du Yun knew the rules. His power showed him every single one. When the first monster came crawling down into the basement, a thing of gray skin and too many teeth, his people froze in fear. But Do Yun did not. He had already looked at it, and the truth had appeared in his mind. This is a husk stalker. Its weak point is the cluster of light-sensing nerves on its throat. It is blind in true darkness. It hunts by sensing body heat, so Du Yun shouted, calm and clear, "Turn off all the lights. Right now. Mr. O, wet blankets over everyone. Cover your body heat." Yuna hit its throat. Only the throat. They obeyed instantly, because in 1 week they had learned something. When Han Du-Yun spoke calmly, it was because he already knew the answer. In the darkness, blind and confused, unable to feel their heat through the wet blankets, the monster died on the end of an old steel pipe. 1 hit. To the throat. 11 people survived their first monster because a man with no fighting power at all had read the enemy like an open book. That was the night they stopped calling his power the Junk One. Part 5. The second power. Meanwhile, Sun Ho was becoming famous. His power, the Conqueror, was everything it promised. Every monster he killed made him stronger. He could jump between rooftops. He could take a wound that would kill a normal man and simply heal. He gathered a group even bigger than Do Yun's. People drawn to the show of raw strength. The 2 friends met again in the second week. Sun Ho hugged Du Yun, happy and surprised. "You're alive. I knew it." Then he looked at Du Yun's small group, calm, well-fed, well-organized, and something flickered in his eyes. "How are you even still breathing without a fighting power? What do you even do?" Du Yun just smiled a little. "I pay attention." That night, alone, the cold voice spoke again. "You have grown in tune with me. I am unlocking your second power. It is called Archive. From now on, any skill, any technique, any ability you watch closely and fully understand, you can record. And in time, you can copy it. Make it your own." Du Yun stared into the dark. "You mean I can copy other people's powers?" "I mean you can copy anything, even powers like his. This is why they called me weak, observer, because the weak never live long enough to see what I become." And for the first time since the sky broke, Han Do-Yun felt something other than fear. He felt the shape of the future. Part 6. The Collector. Over the next weeks, Du-Yun became something the New World had never seen before. He did not chase strength like his friend. He collected. He watched a survivor make a small spark of fire and copied it. He studied a monster that could turn its skin as hard as stone, and slowly, patiently, learned to do the same to his own arm. He was not the strongest man alive. He was the most complete. A knife fighter who could turn his skin to stone to block a bite, who could make fire to push back the cold, and who could look at any enemy and instantly know its weakness. Every fight taught him something new. He had no limit, and people came to him, not for the show, like they came to Sun Ho. They came to him to live, because under Du Yun, people did not die. He saved a little 10-year-old girl named Bitna from a collapsed daycare, and after that, his whole group would have followed him anywhere. One evening, his friend Yuna, a nurse before all this, said to him quietly, "You could rule this whole city if you wanted. Everyone can see it. Everyone except you." "I don't want to rule anything," Du Yun said. "I just want every person here to live to see next winter." And that was the difference between the 2 friends. Sun Ho wanted to keep them alive, and that small, simple difference was the one thing Cha Sung Ho could not forgive. Part 7. The poison it ate at Sung Ho slowly, then all at once. He had the strongest power in the whole area, the muscles, the fame, the followers. And yet when the 2 groups worked together, it was always Du Yun the people looked to. It was Du Yun's name they spoke with trust, while they spoke Sung Ho's name with fear. "They are my followers," Sung Ho snapped one night after Du Yun's plan had saved a dozen of Sung Ho's people. "But they thanked you. They always thank you. I do all the fighting, and somehow you are the hero." "We're on the same side, Sung Ho," Do Yun said gently. "Nobody's keeping score. I'm keeping score." Sung Ho's eyes flashed gold. For a second, the room felt colder. Then he forced a laugh and slapped Du Yun's shoulder, a little too hard. "Forget it. We're brothers. 15 years, right?" But that night, the cold voice gave Du Yun a warning. His power whispers to him too, observer. It tells him that killers grow stronger by killing, and it has begun to ask him a question. What would he gain if he killed the smartest mind in this world and took what it knows? Du Yun lay awake a long time. He told no one. That was his mistake. Even after everything, he still wanted to believe in 15 years of friendship. Part 8. The nest. The danger that brought everything to a breaking point was the nest. A giant tear had ripped open in the center of the city, the biggest anyone had ever seen, and from it grew a mountain of living, moving flesh, spitting out monsters faster than anyone could kill them. Du Yun's power gave him the cold truth. Within 1 month, the nest would make enough monsters to destroy every shelter in the city. It had to be killed at the source, and deep in its heart his power told him was a single weak point, a brood heart. If someone could reach it and stab it, the whole nest would collapse and die. But reaching it meant fighting through the deadliest place on earth. It needed Sung Ho's raw strength, and Do Yoon's mind. The two groups. Together. One last time, the night before the attack, Sung Ho found Do Yoon alone on a rooftop. Just like the rooftop where it all began. Feels like old times, Sung Ho said quietly. You and me, against the world. Then, after a pause, I always thought you were the better one, you know. Smarter, kinder. Everyone liked you more, even when we were kids. Especially then. We're both making it through tomorrow, Du Yun said firmly. Both of us. And then we'll drink up here and laugh about it. Sung Ho smiled, but the smile did not reach his eyes. Yeah, he said softly. Both of us. Part 9, 15 years. The battle was everything they had planned, and worse than they had feared. Sung Ho was incredible. Gold light blazing, he tore a road straight through the army of monsters, right toward the center. Behind him, Do Yun kept everyone alive with his copied skills. The knife, the fire, the stone skin. A dozen powers in one body. They reached the heart of the nest together. The brood heart pulsed in front of them. Huge and horrible, exactly where his power had said it would be. This is it, Du Yun breathed. He raised the special spear he had made, the one weapon his power confirmed could pierce the heart. Sung Ho, cover me. I only get one shot. I know, Sung Ho said. I read your notes, and he drove his fist straight through Han Du Yun's back. The world went white, then red. Du Yun looked down and saw his friend's glowing arm punched clean through his chest. The spear fell from his hands. His knees gave out, and Sung Ho caught him, almost gently, and lowered him to the ground. Don't fight it, Sung Ho whispered, and there were real tears on his face. You were always going to end up on top. I can't live in your shadow, not in this world too. My power told me, when I kill someone with a power, I can take it for myself, and your power copies everything. With both of them, I won't just be a king, I'll be the only one left worth calling one. He pressed his forehead to Du Yun's, the way they used to as boys. I'm sorry, I love you, that's why it has to be me. The cold voice spoke. Fatal wound. Host life. Critical. The last thing Do Yun saw was his best friend of 15 years reaching for the gray light leaving his chest, trying to swallow the observer whole. And the last thing he heard was the voice, calm as ever, speaking only to him. Theft by Cha Sung Ho, denied. The observer cannot be stolen. It can only be chosen. I warned you, Du Yun. On the very first night, I told you first. But I did not tell you everything. The observer has one final locked power. It only unlocks at the moment of death. It is called regression, rewinding, and the world shattered like glass breaking in reverse. Part 10, the rooftop. Again Han Du Yun opened his eyes on a rooftop. Under a sky with no crack in it, holding a cold, unopened drink. Do you ever feel like we're just extras? Sung Ho was saying beside him. Du Yun's hand crushed the can flat. He knew this moment. He knew it exactly. The city whole. The sky unbroken. Sung Ho alive, talking, not yet a killer. He pressed a hand to his own chest. No wound, no blood. He had gone back, all the way back, to the night before the end of the world, before the choice, before the fist through his heart. Rewind complete, the cold voice said. Welcome back, observer. You keep all your memories and everything you copied. Very few are ever given a second choice. Even fewer deserve one. Sung Ho, Du Yun said quietly, and he searched his friend's face for any sign, any hint that he remembered too. For just 1 second, Sung Ho's easy smile slipped, his eyes narrowed, and his hand drifted up to his own chest, as if feeling for a wound that was not there. That's weird, Sung Ho muttered. Feels like I've stood right here before. Then he shook it off and laughed. Anyway, no ambition, that's your whole problem. And Do Yun understood with a chill down to his bones. He remembers too, or he's starting to. This time we both know how it ends. Then the sky cracked open. Part 11. The same choice, the cold voice filled their heads again. But this time, the glowing panels were different. Du Yun realized the truth. The game changes the offers for those who come back. It puts out new bait. The first panel now read, The Tyrant. an evolved combat power, overwhelming strength, and the ability to devour the powers and skills of everyone you kill. Better than a normal combat core. For those who want to dominate everything, there was a second new one, the Regent, a power to control the minds of the weak and build an army. And there, smaller than both, dim and gray and easy to miss, the same plain panel it had always been, the Observer. You already know what I do. Welcome back. Sung-ho's eyes locked onto the tyrant, and this time there was no innocent excitement in his face. There was recognition. He remembered. He remembered that last time, raw strength was not enough, that the junk power had grown into something even his fist could not steal. So this time, he reached for the upgrade, a power built to eat other powers. I'm not making the same mistake, Sung-ho said, and slammed his hand onto the tyrant. This time I take a power that swallows yours. There's nothing you can copy that I can't just eat. His grin was pure ice now, no warmth left at all. Go on, buddy. Pick your little observer again. Let's see if it saves you twice. The tyrant is now bound to Cha Sung-ho. Du-yun looked at the same gray panel that everyone, in 2 whole lifetimes, had called weak, and he smiled, the calm smile of a man who has already read the last page of the book. He pressed his hand to the observer. I don't need to copy you, Sun-ho, he said softly. I've had a whole lifetime to learn you already. The observer is now bound to Han Do-yun. Welcome home. Let us finish what we started. Part 12. The man who already knew the second apocalypse was nothing like the first. Because Do-yun already knew every rule of a game everyone else was playing for the first time. He knew the scorch would burn by day and the cold would kill by night. He knew the husk stalkers were blind in the dark. He knew where the tears would open and when. He did not spend 3 days learning. He spent them acting. Mr. O, Yuna, Little Bitna, he reached them all, saved them all, before the danger ever came. And his copied skills came back to him in full. Every ability from a whole lifetime, all his again on day 1. On the very first night of the new apocalypse, Han Do-yun was already the most complete fighter in the world. But this time, he was not chasing survival. He was hunting one man. Your heartbeat is fast, observer, the cold voice said. This is not about surviving. This is a reckoning. It's both, Du-yun said, sharpening the spear he had made a lifetime too late. This time, I do it in the right order. Part 13. The trap Sun-ho's new power was a nightmare. Even Do-yun admitted it. Every person he killed, every power he devoured, made him stronger and stranger. He grew faster this time, crueler. He was hunting Do-yun across the ruined city. Both of them knew the other remembered. Both of them knew only one would walk away. But there was a difference between them, the same difference that had always decided everything. Sun-ho grew stronger by taking. Do-yun grew stronger by understanding. So while Sun-ho ate his way toward power, Do-yun did the one thing his friend never would. He used analysis on the tyrant power itself. Patiently, from a distance, watching a dozen of Sun-ho's battles, until at last the cold voice gave him the words he had waited 2 lifetimes to hear. Weak point found. To devour a power, the tyrant must completely drop his own defense for 2 full seconds. In that moment, he is totally open. He cannot eat and defend at the same time. He will always lower his guard to feed. He cannot help it. It is the nature of the power he chose, and the nature of the man who chose it. Du-yun closed his eyes. He'll try to eat me, just like last time. He won't be able to stop himself. And in those 2 seconds, when he opens himself up to swallow my power, he will be defenseless. And you will have your spear. So Du-yun set his trap the way he once mapped the nest. Every path, every possibility, folded into one quiet, certain plan. He let Sun-ho's spies find him. He let himself be cornered, at the heart of the nest, on the exact spot where he had died. He wanted the ending to happen where the betrayal had first been written. He wanted Sun-ho to believe he had won again. Part 14. The Heart of the Nest. Again they stood before the pulsing brood heart, the 2 friends exactly where it had ended before. 15 years, Sun-ho said, black and gold light crawling over his monstrous arms. And here we are again. You never learn, do you? Same power, same junk. Still the rooftop dreamer who thinks being clever is the same as being strong. He spread his arms wide. I'm going to eat that little observer and everything it knows. And then there will be nothing left of you but me. I know, Du-yun said calmly. Sun-ho stopped. You know? I've known for 2 lifetimes. You always drop your guard to feed, Sun-ho. You can't help it. It's who you are. You take, and in the second you reach out to take, you're wide open. Du-yun lowered his spear on purpose and bared his own chest exactly as he had on the night he died. So come on, reach for it. Take my power. I won't even stop you. For one heartbeat, doubt flickered in Sun-ho's eyes. Then the hunger won, because it always did. He lunged, his arm blazing, his defense completely down, a mouth of black light opening to swallow the gray power whole. And Han Do-yun moved, with a knife move he had copied from a dead soldier, with a speed he had copied from a dozen monsters. with the certainty he had earned by dying once already. The spear went through Cha Sun-ho's heart. In the 2-second window the tyrant left wide open, the window that only existed because Sung-ho would always choose to take. Sung-ho staggered back, staring at the spear, then up at his friend. You planned this. The whole thing. You let me corner you. I read the last page, Du-yoon said quietly. A long time ago. Sung-ho sank to his knees, on the very spot where Do-yoon had died, and the anger drained out of his face. For a moment, he was just the boy on the rooftop again. I just didn't want to be the extra, he whispered. I just wanted to be the one the story was about. For once, Du-yoon knelt and caught his friend as he fell, the same way Sung-ho had once caught him. I know, he said, and he meant it, but you didn't have to climb over me to get there. You never did. I would have carried you the whole way. All you ever had to do was not let go of my hand. Sung-ho's eyes closed. 15 years, he breathed. 15 years? Du-yoon answered, and then his friend was gone. Part 15. The one who chose Du-yoon stood up, alone, at the heart of the nest. He picked up the spear. This time, there was no betrayal to stop him. He drove the spear into the brood heart exactly as he had meant to, a whole lifetime ago. The nest collapsed. The tear in the sky above it sealed shut, with a sound like a held breath finally let go. All across the city, monsters stumbled and dropped dead, as the heart that made them died. Thousands of people who should have been overrun that month lived instead, and never knew that a quiet man with the junk power had bought them that future. Twice. He walked out into the gray morning light, where Yuna and Mr. O and little Bitna were waiting. Alive. All of them. Is it done? Yuna asked. It's done, he said, and the cold gray voice spoke to him one last time, but somehow it did not sound quite so cold anymore. The nest is sealed. Now do you understand, Du-yoon, why I called it interesting that night on the roof, when you chose me while thinking I was weak? Tell me, Du-yoon said. The powerful cores, the conqueror, the tyrant, the ones that make you strong, the game hands those out freely because the hungry are easy to predict. They take, they devour, they betray, and they burn out. They are the game, but the observer is not given away. It is left behind, hidden, disguised as junk, waiting for the one person in 1,000 worlds who would pick it, not out of greed, but because it was all that was left, and then have the patience to find out what it truly was. Everyone else plays the game. Du-yoon, you are the one who learned to read it, and the ones who made the game have noticed you now. They are watching, very closely. Far above, beyond the healing sky, in a place with no warmth at all, something vast turned its attention toward a single quiet man standing in a ruined city, a man who had been given the weakest power in the world, and had used it to survive the end of everything. Twice, Du-yoon looked up at the sky and he was not afraid. Let them watch, he said, because he had learned the one lesson the whole apocalypse had been built to teach, the lesson that only he had truly understood. Power is loud, it takes, it dominates, and then it dies. But the one who watches, the one who waits, the one who understands, the one that everybody underestimates until it is far too late. That one does not just survive the game, he learns to beat the people who made it. And that's where we'll end tonight's story. Han Do-yoon survived twice, but somewhere far above something has started watching him. What do you think it wants? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this, stay for the next one. Sleep well, and be careful what power you choose. End of part 1.